you finished from UNILAG.
Yeah.
And you set up your business right at the school gate of UNILAG.
I see my classmates passing and they're seeing me doing PS. But there's dignity in labor, right? I feel some kind of way, not that I'm ashamed. No, I studied chemical engineering. I actually didn't graduate once, funny enough. I had an extra year. Engineering is not something I'm passionate about. But
so what were you passionate about?
I was passionate about business. My mom's brother is actually an engineer.
Okay.
I should study engineering so that I can
connection.
It's the oil money. So
did you try to get a job, or you think, oh, I finished with 2-2, I cannot get a job with this?
So after my service year, I actually worked in an oil company for 4 months. So after the end of the month, they gave me just a little token. So after that 4 months, that was where I decided to go fully and start up my own company, Gold Company Limited.
Hi everyone, and you're welcome to yet another episode of Starspod. You know that Starspod is your window into the life of young ones. We bring young individuals who are doing well in their various careers that they've chosen for themselves. We bring them here to talk about themselves, their business, their career, their education, how the government has let them down, and how they've been able to pick themselves up. Now, my guest for today is a very interesting one because I met him on an official outing. I went to shoot a vox pop. Then we started talking, met him right in front of UNILAG, and I got to know that he's a student of UNILAG. So he was a student of UNILAG, he finished from UNILAG, and is currently running a POS business in front of UNILAG. Shocking, right? I can imagine the expression on your face when you're like, oh, how did that? What is the calculation? What is the mathematics? Yes, I was also shocked. Now, my guest today is Vincent, Fortune Vincent. Good day.
Good day, Miss Temi.
No, just call me Temi. It's not Temi.
I like being formal.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So a little backstory. I just mentioned when I introduced you that I met you while you were running a POS business in front of UNILAG, and a lot of persons will be ashamed to do, like, I finished from UNILAG and I'm still running a POS business right in front of UNILAG. Because lots of your friends might be coming in and they'll be like, oh, this is Vincent. Oh, we finished from, this guy is doing this. How come you are doing this? How come you are doing that? Now, before we go into that, let's do a bit of a flashback. How's your life like? Your upbringing, your background? Were you born with the silver spoon, or it was a wooden spoon, so to say?
Actually, my background was very cool, lovely mother. I was raised by a single mother. Yeah, I lost my dad when I was much younger. Yeah, so my mom is a nurse and she actually raised us right. A God-fearing woman. All these deaconess. Right. So it was a lovely one with inculcating the right values into us. Love, integrity, honesty. It was a lovely one, and we didn't have much, but at least we had something, and we had something she could hold on to raise 3 kids all by herself. So thumbs up to Mrs. Gold Vincent.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it's nice to hear that part of your parents, because I believe right now we do not have, let me say, parents who uphold those kind of values in their children, Especially with this Gen Z era. This Gen Z era, because they're just about, oh, you don't do this to my child. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So it's just like that. Now, take me back to, what did you study in school? What year did you enter the university and all that? What did you study? What did you finish with? And how did you do life from there?
I gained admission UG 2015, and I did I studied chemical engineering, and I actually didn't graduate once, funny enough. I had an extra year.
Okay, explain better, because I've been at admission like, chemical engineering. You know how it is in Nigeria now. After picking medicine, law,
Yeah.
and in the engineering program, like, oh, you are going to make it big.
Yeah.
So
I actually, engineering was actually the course I chose. That I wasn't passionate about engineering. I don't know if I mentioned that to you earlier. Engineering is not something I'm passionate about. But
so what were you passionate about?
I was passionate about business.
Okay.
Contributing positively to the society, trying to create jobs for youth.
So why didn't you study, let's say, business admin or finance or anything related to that, and you now went to study chemical
engineering?
Yeah.
Actually, I told you my mom's brother is actually an engineer.
Okay.
Petroleum engineer. So as at then they were eating oil money now, so he was be like, I should study engineering so that I can
connection
eat the oil money. So but I studied engineering. I was very, very sincere, and I was not one of those magu boys. Sorry for the word magu, it's Nigerian word. I was not one of those cheats, and I studied my book, and I was ready to make quality impact. I was ready to read and understand what I was there to do. I was ready to work hard to make sure that I come out with flying colors. But as God may have it, I graduated with a 2-2, and that I can defend anywhere.
I like that, because a lot of Nigerians cannot defend whatever result it is. So what happened? Why did you have an extra year? Was it finances? Was it emotional?
It was just I actually don't like putting blames on anyone whenever something happens. I'm a person that like taking responsibility, so I'll just say I didn't study the course very well. I didn't do my best. That was why I had an extra year, but I never gave up. I still went ahead to make sure that I completed the course and I graduated successfully so I can go for youth service. Now something happened. That was in 300 level, right? That was after thermodynamics class, and some of my friends, I think it was Bola and Joseph, and some other guys, I think I could remember just their names, and they were discussing about how they want to work in Shell. The other one would be like, let me graduate and let me go and work in Chevron. Let me graduate, let me go and work. So at that moment, I was actually sober and I was thinking about a lot of things. And they were like, this guy has started again. What are you thinking of again now? And at that moment, honestly, what I was thinking of was, I was thinking of how I could have a company that people can sit down and discuss. How I want to work in Gold Company Limited. You understand? I have a vision of having the biggest company in the world that will have the highest paid workers in the whole of Nigeria and in the world at large. Now, most times when I share things like this, people laugh at me. When I told them this, funny enough, that day there could be a Bola, and they laughed me to scorn. They were like, "Look at this moo boy."
Now because all your mates were thinking of, let me just finish. Let me do maybe a graduate training with Shell or with Chevron. You were thinking of starting with no capital.
So they're like, I've started. What is wrong with me? Is my head correct? And sincerely, before God and man, that was what I really want. I was passionate about making quality impact, nation building. I was passionate about contributing positively to the society. I was thinking of, because some people work and they are not being paid properly. I was like, I want to have a company that will have the highest paid workers so that they can discuss about my company like that. And God has helped me. I have a company well registered, Gold Company Limited, and we are doing a lot. When you ask me a question on that, I can now talk about.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Now, you said you studied chemical engineering, but you were passionate about business.
Yes, ma'am.
But you still went ahead to study chemical engineering.
Yes.
So where did it all happen? When did it occur to you that I need to go into business?
Ever since when I was in secondary school, my mom has a pharmacy, and she sells medicines and all that. So I was always there to make sure that things go well. I was always there to make sure that products are being restocked when they are finished. I was there to make sure that there are proper documentations of things, to keep record. I always have this passion to make sure that a business goes well. In fact, when something is going wrong, I'm always worried. You understand me? I always wanted to bring out a new idea. I'm a very creative and innovative person. I was always thinking of what is not right here? How can I fix this? How can I, to make sure that everything is perfect? I'm a man of excellence. I hate mediocrity with everything I've got.
So you always want to be perfect.
I won't say perfect. I call it excellence.
Okay.
People say I'm a perfectionist. No, I like excellence. That's why even when you see me there, I'm always dressed on corporate, and I every day I get compliments of what's motivated? Why are you always dressed like this? You're supposed to be tattered, but I come out clean and excellent. So everything I do in life, I like to give it a touch of excellence. I hate mediocrity, indifference. Most persons, they just come out and indifference. That's the word. Neither hot nor cold.
Yeah.
You are middle. You are either good or
lukewarm.
bad. Lukewarm. Thank you. That's what the Bible. You are neither. The Bible say, I will spew you out. You are neither hot nor cold. So most people, they don't give everything they do a touch of excellence. So in everything you do and in everything I do, I like to make sure I give it a touch of excellence, and that's what makes me stand out.
Okay, thank you so much. So you said it started from your mom's shop when you realized, I have a passion for this.
Yeah.
I have an interest in this. So after graduation, did you try to get a job? Or you think, I finished with 2-2, I cannot get a job with this, or I cannot get a job at, the top oil companies, just like you mentioned out there. Yeah. Was that what made you think, let me just start a business then?
No, after graduation, I actually did my intern in Halliburton Energy Services. So after I came out March 2023, so after my service year, I actually worked in an oil company for 4 months. Yeah. I worked in
that was an internship, right?
No, I did my intern. That was 400 level.
Okay.
You go for IT.
Okay.
So I went back there
to work.
But what I was getting was not what. After doing proper maintenance in the base as a surface well tester under testing and subsea, after doing proper maintenance on the 3-phase separator, the data header, the gauge tank, the surge tank, and I was good at my job. I told you everything I do, I give it a touch of excellence. You understand me? I'm a service, even as an IT person back then, I always come to work on Sundays because they feel if I go for full flow back job, rig up and rig down of equipment. You understand me? I was passionate about the job because that was what I was doing. Actually, I loved the job because that was what I was doing. But I gave the job my all. Let me say I gave the job my all. But I worked for like 4 months. But after the end of the month, they gave me just a little token. And as at then, I figured out that was not what I was supposed to do. I had more to offer. I had more to give to the world. I had more to. I needed to maximize my potentials that God has given to me. You understand? So after that 4 months, that was where I decided to go fully and start up my own company, Gold Company Limited.
Okay, now, just I mentioned earlier, I said I met you where you were running a POS business, and I was, fascinated about the fact that you finished from UNILAG, and you set up your business right at the school gate of UNILAG.
Yeah.
So how do you feel when you see your peers or your ex-classmates? I know that some of them might be running their masters in school.
Yeah.
Some of them maybe even as businesses in school, and they're just going back and they see you. How do you feel? Do you feel shy?
Yeah.
Do you feel you understand? Do you feel I don't want them to see me, I don't want this? Because I believe that would have happened when you first started, right? So just share an experience.
So honestly speaking, as a human being, first of all, according to Adam Smashlow, as a human being, we always wants to be loved and accepted. The greatest need of every human being is love and acceptance. So most times, I won't lie, I feel some kind of way, right? I see my classmates passing and they're seeing me doing peers, but there's dignity in labor, right? And there's dignity. I feel some kind of way. Not that I'm ashamed. No, for crying out loud, I don't go to begging for money. I'm being hardworking, and I'm being focused, and I have a lot to do. Yeah, and I'm there today does not mean that's where I'm going to end.
Definitely,
that's a starting point. It's the start of something new. I have a very bright future for crying out loud. So it would be it will be shameful for anyone to look at me or look down on me because you see me doing PS. That would be a loss on your side. Yeah, but actually I don't get that. People don't look down on me. In fact, having a conversation with me, some persons want to stay there for 30 minutes because how come you're this sound, like, for crying out loud, what are you doing here? But there's a principle of life that people don't know. I don't go to sleep every night without developing myself on leadership and finances. Most times I'm on my iPad till 3. I still have to wake up by 6 to make sure I go to my office, because some persons who obviously they want to withdraw from me, because some persons come from inside, they say it must be me, and they have to, and I'm like, oh, so I have to what, be there, understand me? Because if they come today and they don't see, they'll be like, you're a joke. Yeah, so you need to be consistent. I call it consistency is the key to every business. You do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it next tomorrow, right? So I always have that at the back of my mind, that I know who I am, understand me? I know my worth. So most times when they have a word with me, they will be like, please, I need to have your number. And most of them, I have a lot of volunteers that are willing to work for my company. A lot. My graphics,
okay, now I want to chip in something from there. Your POS business, it's been like how many years now that you've started it?
Started
a month.
I started, that was at UNILAG Gate. I started February. Okay,
prior to UNILAG Gate, you've been somewhere else, right?
Not specifically. I just had an idea. I actually in my mom's shop. Yeah, so there's a PS. I had an idea of it, so I actually brought it to her so that it can help her commence transactions effectively and ease the business. So I had an idea, but I just started it right now because I've been busy developing myself, my capacity, because I keep telling people there's a way you develop, there's an extent you develop yourself to, that it will be unfair for nature to allow you to remain. I'm where I am today because that's the level of personal development I've had. I'm not supposed to be where I am because my level of development has passed there. So, but it's a gradual process. So I know immediately I develop myself more than how I'm developed right now. I will obviously go ahead of where I am. So it's a nature of life. It will be unfair. Anybody in any stage you are in life, you are there because that's the level of personal development you have. Once, it will be unfair. In fact, if you're still there, nature will fight you to live there. I've seen it times without number before I've come to conclusion. Nature will fight you to leave that place. Okay, let me ask you something. Do you think you are like this because of the educational background that you have? Now, this is where I'm coming from. We have a lot of people doing this same business. It's a POS business. But when you see them, they're just looking tattered, looking rough, thinking, oh, it's just a POS business. This is what I do. This is how I'm expected to look. But unlike you said you go to your workplace. Let me say it's a workplace actually. Yeah, it's my office. Yeah, it's your office. You go to your office looking very nice. And people are like, oh, when they walk up to you, they talk to you, they're like, why are you doing this? Oh, what do you do? What? No, then you start talking and they see, oh, you are intelligent. Do you think it's an influence of your education? Does your education have like an impact on the way you've presented your business? Yeah, I keep telling people, do not undermine the effects and quality of education. Do not. Every time somebody say school na scam, I caution them, stop it. You don't know. No, don't say that. Do not undermine the effectiveness of education on a person. You can't compare me to those people that are not. I was about that. It's obvious. So most times, just looking at me, just once they see me already, they know that this man. They know there is this background. This guy must be. This guy is. I don't even tell them. The one is that okay. What did I? They just know that because the difference is what's clear. So education really had a big effect, a huge effect. Yeah, education is key. Do not. So it's actually contributed a whole lot. It did. Yes, my deed. Okay, so do you think you graduating with 2-2 is like a barrier to you right now? Considering your course and what you think, do you think is a barrier? In the engineering sector, if you don't come out with a first class and a 2-1,
or a strong 2-1, not just any other 2-1.
No, the 2-1 is a 2-1, right? But it's a strong 2-1. Yeah, you can say that. You won't have that kind of opportunity you're supposed to have as an engineer. But nevertheless, I came out with the 2-2. I'm proud of it to an extent because you
worked for it yourself, so you can be very proud of it.
I didn't pay anybody to give me that. I went through it and I got it myself. So I'm proud of it for that. But I'm not proud that I didn't come out with the first class per se. But that wasn't what I was made to do. You understand me? When a purpose is not known, abuse is what's inevitable. So my purpose in life wasn't to even work for any of those companies. I knew that when I was in school. I knew that no, this is not where God wants me to be. Yeah. So I am now on the road to actualizing my purpose in life, which is what's contributing positively to the society.
Talking about contributing to society, let me cut you short right there, because I remember while chatting before started the show, you were talking about how you've contributed. So what are the things that you've done as a young person that has like made impact in Nigeria?
Firstly, I will start with my service here. Firstly, I served in Cross River State, Boki East, Bokalom. During my service here, I served as the Corpus Liaison Officer, the CLO. I worked tirelessly to serve Nigeria. I worked tirelessly to serve the country. I noticed something during my service here that most persons, even WAEC students at the rural area, they could not read and write properly. So I took it upon myself as a copper to make sure they read and write properly. How did I do that? I went from church to church to announce that a class is going to start, and it's going to be impactful, and it's going to be based on teaching them how to read and write. And I didn't just it wasn't just a guesswork.
Sorry, I want to ask you a question before you continue. Now, you said most of them cannot read and write.
Yeah.
And right now, give me the average age range of those you taught while were they children or were they adults?
I thought both children and adults. I said, why students cannot be children, right? Yeah, at the time, most persons in the community that were adults, they started coming. They were like, Copa Vincent, we like what they're doing. They came, they started coming. So I wanted them to entrust something, and that's why I said 100 naira for every day they come to class. So as they are coming to the class for that day, they come with their 100 naira. So I started from teaching them how to read and say the alphabetical sound a, b, k, d, f. So at the end of the day, most of them could read and write properly, and they were so grateful, and I was grateful to God for giving me that opportunity to contribute immensely to the life of those youths and those children and those adults also. Because imagine, and it's something that happens in Nigeria. Your WAEC, you know the WAEC, most of them, they call them A, B, C, and it happens at those areas, and those persons, some of them are willing to learn. Some of them want to learn, but they don't have the opportunity. They don't have the right teachers. That's why I keep telling coppers of today, if you're being sent somewhere, please try to go. You don't know the impact you're going to make. You don't know how you're going to contribute to the growth of those people there. So try to actually go there. Try to go there and contribute positively. Try to go there wholeheartedly to make sure you make impact. So I was very happy. You understand? It wasn't the 100 that I was getting every day.
That was, but the impact you were making. Now, talking about the educational sector, because what you said right now is common in rural areas, mostly, even some urban areas, but let's just say rural area. You'll see a student that is about to write WAEC or that is writing WAEC but cannot spell their names. So how do we attribute that to? Is it the student themselves? Because some of them are not serious. As a couple, you're able to see everything firsthand. Some of the students are not. They do not want to learn. They believe, I'm in the rural area. What will I do when I'm done? Maybe just pick up a trade, or just do this, or just do that. Or should we say it's the fault of their parents? Parents who were not educated and do not see the need for their children to be educated as well. Or do we say it's the fault of the government? or the teachers? Were they not doing their job well? What's your opinion about that?
Firstly, I would say charity begins at home. So, but it is not the parents, or it's not the fault of a mother that is not educated. You understand me? It's not her fault per se, but you can't exempt her totally from it, right?
Yes.
If she was educated, at least she will be able to teach her kids properly, right? And you can't also blame the teachers fully, because most teachers are willing to teach, but most students sometimes you see them jumping out of the window when a class is about to start. You see them running out and they're not willing to learn. So most of the teachers are also willing to teach. You understand me? But most of the students also are not willing to learn. But you can also agree with me that among those students that are also good, let me take you back to the story. Now, there was a story one of a mentor of mine shared with me. It was like two brothers. They had a father, right? Two brothers had a father. The father was a drunkard, a useless man, drinks, falls in the gutter overnight. They can't carry him home. You understand? And he was like that. He wasn't a good example to the children. Now the both guys grew up, and one tends to become a very responsible young man, a man with purpose, a man with vision. You understand me? And the other one turned out to become a chain smoker,
the stuff of his father,
a useless person. He wasn't valuable to the society, right? Now they called the both of them and they were like, "Sir, please, why did you turn out to be this way? Why exactly? Why are you like this?" And he was like, "That's the bad child." He was like, "I had a very useless father. I had a father that was not concerned about his children. That's why I'm like this today." And they called the second son, "Young man, why are you so responsible? Why are you so impactful to everyone that come across you?" The same reason why the other one was bad, useless to the society, was the same reason why. So it's a matter of choice. I keep telling people, decision decides destiny. Decision decides destiny. So it's a matter of personal decision. Those students, there are also some that could read and write. Yes, I met some. In fact, there was a reading, a spelling bee. They call it spelling bee, that was going on by one politician in the community, and I actually tutored one of my students. Yeah, she was in, I think, JS2 to go, and she came out first position in the whole of the community. So she could actually, she had a background. Yeah, you understand? She could read and write. So I just had to brush her through some words, and so there are also some students that could read and write. So it's just a matter of personal decision. Yeah, personal decision. Okay,
now let's talk about the initiative you said you came up with. Wow, 7.
Yes.
You know, the teaching students how to read. Was there sustainability? Was it sustained after you left, or did it just die like that and the students are just back to square zero?
Yeah. I would say it was sustained because while I was leaving, the persons that came, they didn't have a zeal for that, right? It's not something, it's not this what I did was not something that was forced on me, right? It was something I saw an error and I decided to correct it, right? So while I left, I was the corpus liaison officer, right? Some corpus were documented and we are sent to that same PPA, Bukalong, Buki East, Cross River State, right? So, but most of them did not have the zeal to do that, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't force them. So I think when I left, that was the end. But I took them through a definite curriculum. You understand? Those persons that were under that teaching for that period of time, they could actually read and write properly. You can only do a lot. You can't do everything.
Definitely. Yeah. So what next right now as regards to your business? What next? Where do you see yourself in like the next 5 years?
Oh, in the next 5 years, I see myself having a lot of staffs working and they're being paid properly under good company limited. I see myself actualizing the vision I have for Gold Water Company. I have not mentioned of this. My passion for water production started when my best friend died of polio, Joseph. Then it dawned on me the effect of bad water in our society. Then I took it upon myself to provide Nigerians with two things: Nigeria and the world, supplying clean and affordable water. It has to be clean and affordable. So I see myself helping to reduce the death of water-causing diseases, typhoid, polio, that kills a lot of Nigerians. If you check the statistics, so many persons die of this disease. So Gold Company will be helping what? To reduce what? I like what the activist is doing, very dark man. I saw him lately installing boreholes in places. Yes, those are things we want to do. We want to contribute positively. Help, go into the rural areas, check. People die every day. They're taking bad water. They're taking really bad water, and it's something the government should look into. You understand? It's something the government should look into. So in 5 years from now, I see the death rates of people that die of polio and typhoid and water-causing disease being reduced. Right? I see gold homes, people that live on the street. If you go on the street, you see people living on the road, sleeping on the road. They are open to a lot of detrimental effects. They are open to a lot of harmful effects. Anything can happen. They are not safe. So gold homes, we have an agenda to provide premium and affordable homes for people. Premium and affordable homes. So in 5 years, I want to be able to give homes that are affordable and are also premium to Nigerians and citizens that don't have so much money to afford them.
Okay, talking about your plans, they are very good plans, I must say. And do you think it's something you can actualize on a personal level, or it's something you need to reach out to the government? Because talking about this water, you said you had this vision because your friend died of
polio, yeah.
Polio, and it's a very sad thing.
Yes,
sorry about that, right?
Yeah.
So do you think, what have you done? What are the steps you've taken to ensure that, aside from your own personal business, have you written to the government about water? What are the steps you personally have taken to actualize that such a thing is reduced in society?
I would really appreciate if the likes of Tonelumelu, people that are passionate about creative and innovative youths, or the governments, to reach out. I've been writing. I have a definite plan and structure for these things, right? So I've been writing to a lot of officials and organizations to help me with a loan. Yeah, I've been looking for loan, but with God all things are possible. Yeah, the things that are impossible with men are possible with God. So I know God can raise giants. God can raise people that will key into the vision and support my vision to any height. So I don't know if I can do it on my own, but I keep telling people something. When I'm being asked questions like this, I tell them time. I keep telling people time does not change anything, but what time reveals. So by the grace of God, if I could have support, I would really be grateful for that. So I'm also open for support. I'm open fully for support from the government and other official organizations. Okay,
thank you so much. So as we're rounding up, I want to ask you this last question. What do you have to tell someone out there who's in your shoes? Maybe that think, I don't have a very good grade in school, I might not be able to amount to anything, because I know that we are all on our journey. We all have our own journey. You are still also in your journey. You have a lot to accomplish, right? What do you have to tell to someone who is just devastated about maybe their grades or the business they are doing right now? What do you have to tell to that person?
First of all, there's a saying that Nigerians say, if you give up, now you fuck up. Right? And so I'll say be consistent in whatever you're doing, and always make sure you have a laid down plan, because if you have failed to plan, you automatically plan to fail. And I'll end with my 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Thank you very much.
That's very deep. Can you hear that? You said proper preparation. What? Please take it again. Prevent
poor performance.
I think I need to write that down and just keep on looking at it every day. So thank you so much.
So
it's
funny,
been very, very nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And we look forward as Edugists, because we are also clamoring for education. We believe strongly that education has a voice. Education should be given a better voice in the society. So we are looking forward to seeing you doing great things.
Thank you very much.
While we on our part also doing great things. We are meeting at the top very, very soon. So thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, Temi.
Thanks for joining us, and watch out on our YouTube channel for another episode of Starspod. I remain Temi Tokwe. Karen, don't forget to follow, like, and share our content. Bye.